The big problem is athletes, former athletes, people who didn't end up making it professionally, like myself, or so on and so forth. There's a serious problem where you can't separate your love for the game and admiration for the spirit of sport and so on and so forth from the business.
Yeah, recognizing that the sport actually doesn't love you. You love the sport.
This is why you have an Alex Rodriguez on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yes, stinking to join up.
Stinking to join up with bad commentary, the lamest voice you can hear, a monotone voice with bad commentary.
A fastball. For real. It's going like 95 miles an hour. It's a fastball.
With almost $1 billion in the bank from the game of baseball, which he did dirty. Yeah. And you look at it, and it goes back to something else in society where sport is supposed to be where everything is equal, where everything is in that gets made right, that is wrong in society, and the corruption that is taking place in sport with this the carnival barking circus that comes to town with this different stuff, with corruption, with cheating, and so on and so forth, gets incentivized. Yes. That's the problem. Now, I personally have less of a problem with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley than I do with guys getting caught taking the needle.
Yeah, definitely.
Because those guys, Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, told you what it is. They're going to fight.
And we're going to put on the show.
And we're going to put on the show. We're going to build it up. We're going to put on the show. If you buy into it and you buy it, that's up to you. Yeah. Alex Rodriguez and his ilk are deceiving me. They're deceiving the public into making me believe his 500-foot home run is legitimate when if everybody else involved, including the pitcher and everybody else on the field, is not also on the juice, it's actually illegitimate.
Right.
So there's so much to be covered there in the world of sport, in the world of,
going deep.
Yeah, but this is what it's about. Because if we can't count on sport, you already know you have a problem with counting on politicians. You know you have a problem with counting on so many different elements of society. You're supposed to be able to count on sport. This is why it's so valuable when you watch the Super Bowl, when you watch October baseball, when you watch a big fight, because it's supposed to mean more to those guys than it even means to you.
Right.
And what you're coming to find is the result means more to those guys. The reason boxers are walking around all the time, punch drunk and this, that, and the other, is because the fight, every fight meant more to them than it did to anybody else in the world, regardless of getting paid.
But you're even going even deeper than that because you're talking about he's going deep because now we're talking about our judicial system is the same way. Because it's not right. It's not about right or wrong. It's about winning. It comes down to winning. So whether you were wrong in the first place, it doesn't matter. If you have enough to afford an attorney or an agreed attorney, then you can get out with the wrong.
And herein lies the great American defect. You look at the situation with this Sackler family, the people who makes the Oxycontin, and now they get to the Purdue Pharmaceuticals. These people get out, give up $4.5 billion, but they keep their money, and nobody goes to prison.
Right.
You guys are the largest dope dealers in the history of the world. You guys are bigger than Pablo Escobar. You guys have the entire country and the entire world hooked on opioids. And the United States government just said, hey, it's okay. And this pertains to sports in the same way of putting out something different than actually having to have the consequence. So that if you are A-Rod and you get caught juicing, but you hit 600 and something home runs, you will escape the consequences. But if you're Pete Rose and you actually do some petty gambling, nobody will ever mistake Pete Rose for being a lesser ball player than A-Rod or anybody else, to be honest. He may be the greatest baseball player to ever lace the cleats up.
Right. Need him on Diamond Dynasty.
Do we ever? Yeah. But if you're Pete Rose and your crime is smaller, it's not big enough for you to get away with it. This is what we're seeing in society. This is why we have 50 belts across the weight classes in boxing. That's a problem.
Well, I like what the WBA did. They're saying they're trimming the fat on all that, which is actually stepping up finally. Because you can't keep having all these different interim belts and gold belt, a blue belt,
Regular belt, super regular belt, championship belt. What you got, Rob?
Here's the slippery slope, though.
Lay it on.
Don't slip.
There's all this fundamental foundation and moralistic things built into this concept of sport for some people.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, professional sports is simply entertainment. Like
Hey.
that's the rub.
That's the bottom line.
That's the rub. Because people see sport as like, oh, this is the foundation of society. If everything ain't going wrong, we could always turn to basketball. We could always turn to good old boxing or the sweet science or whatever. But like once you put money into it, it is now just a part of the entertainment industry. It's just like a movie. It's just like Disneyland.
Because now you have a vested interest.
It is all about money. And what I've learned over time is that these companies, the NBA, MLB, like they're all about making more money.
That's all it is. And that is the function of their organization.
Right. If we got to call more fouls,
if we got to bring in the fences, if we got to let guys juice,
if we got to let people juice a little bit, if we got to make sure that the boxing, we don't have no open scoring because we want the right people to win. Like it's all about that bag. So that's the part that we can't ever forget, because we throw all this morals into sport, which is a separate thing than professional athletics.
But you hit the word there. You hit the nail on the head there, because it's professional. Because when you grow up playing sports are so foundational for society, because they teach young people so much about society and how it should run.
The disciplines of life.
The discipline, the teamwork, the collaboration component, all of this, the integrity, all of these different things that are included in sport underneath the professional level.
Yes.
But when the bread gets involved,
once you sign that contract,
it's a different animal.
The bread becomes toxic, in a lot of ways.
Because you've contracted yourself to some bigger entity that is all about making money off of you.
Whose job it is to make money.
Exactly. So that's where the difference is. So that I just leave that there.
Deep. Rob, talk to me. Who do you got coming up in the UFC that you're excited about seeing fight? I'm not the most savvy dude in the world. I try to watch, but they start rolling around on the ground. It gets real bloody. It's tough for me to figure out what's going on. Talk to me. What are the fights we're looking forward to?
Honestly, man, I'm so edge of my seat waiting to see John Jones back in the UFC. I follow him on Instagram. He's putting on weight. He's a heavyweight now. He's looking like his brothers. I mean, the boy looks like he's straight, like they cut from the same cloth. John was always the Bones Jones skinny dude, but he walk around looking like Chandler. You know what I'm saying? He's heavyweight now.
Yeah, but I want to ask you about that, because you forgive him for all the juicing.
That's where I was going to go.
All the juicing.
All the juicing, all the drug use, the
way that he took Cormier's title and all that kind of stuff, and you can just sweep that under the rug. You look to the
side, in spite of everything that we're talking about. Yeah. You can look to the side with all that and say, I cannot wait for him to get back in the ring.
100%.
Now, why is that?
You want to hear why?
Yes.
Are you not entertained?
All you want is that Russell Crowe.
Professional athletics is entertainment, my brothers. And this man has not been defeated. And he's, as much as he's gotten aired out, think of all the people that he's beat that have not got aired out.
But that's an assumption that you're making that you can't.
I'm not saying it's happening, and I'm not saying it's true. But
that's what you're implying when you say think of all the other people who didn't get aired out.
Like a guy like a Cormier who he beat, twice, 3 times, but he's been on the juice every time.
He hasn't been on the juice every time. That's not true.
Well, how many times have you been on the juice against Cormier? The last time he was definitely on the juice.
How many times do you get to be on the juice and then not be on the juice and be like, oh no, but right now I wasn't on the juice?
Yeah.
No, it was cocaine.
No, he was on the juice.
He was on the juice as well as cocaine.
He was on the juice one time.
That's like being pregnant one time. You know, like
So he OJ the Juice Man now.
Listen, what you want from me? I didn't tell him to take it. Right.
He got.
So you basically you're up for an exemption. You get a 1 to 2 time juice exemption if your entertainment is high enough.
It's cold game,
man. So you endorsing A-Rod type.
Right.
Seiko, McGuire, A-Rod. Come on, man. Lance, Armstrong. I mean,
you with all of them.
But this is the problem, though.
This is society. This is where we are.
We incentivize it.
We incentivize it, and now
And it's just like I was talking about earlier. There's no consequence of recourse.
There's no consequence because now you get in there and get your ass busted by John Jones.
Yeah, and he could actually kill you.
And he can actually kill you.
Listen, man. They need to go ahead on and just take it off. They got
take the ban off.
You want everybody to be able to juice out.
Juice him up. We're professionals. It's about the money, right?
Not for me, but I hear what you're saying. I've heard that argument before.
Let these cats perform at their highest. Everybody, if I juice, you juice, T juice. We not all.
But guess what though? We can't even get people to take the vax. How you gonna get everybody to take the juice?
Believe me. These cats is out here on that thing, boy. They out here on that thing. Okay. If you let them do it, they're gonna be on it. And that's the crazy part. If 10 people in the room is on the juice, we not all gonna be the same.
And we're also not all going to survive. This is the other part of it. Because because the truth of the matter is, once again, the sport is supposed to be a role model for your kids.
Right.
So now what you're doing in that scenario is you're telling your kids, and this is the beef that I've always had with the A-Rods of the world. Because of an A-Rod, there are several people who never made it to the show.
Right.
Who deserved, whose game was nice enough to make it to the major leagues.
But I decided not to take the juice.
I decided not to take the juice.
Yeah. And now I can't get past single or double A, maybe rookie ball, because A-Rod's got that spot locked up because he's been on the juice since high school.
And not only that, but because he's been on the juice since high school, he can put up 55, 60 bombs, which raises the tier. So my 25, 30 bombs is no longer actually premier when it should be premier. But that's okay because Rob says it's all entertainment.
Man, once you sign the contract, it's entertainment.
Okay.
It's
Ladies and gentlemen, Robbie Jones.
It's a cold world.
Give my hand.
First member of the Ozone.
It's
and he's
cold
back
out here.
again.
It's cold out here.
It's ice cold.
It is ice
Rob,
cold.
you got anything you want to promote right now?
No, man, just promoting love. Okay.
Hey,
my brothers and promoting
then you got
love,
everything
man.
to promote.
There's nothing better than love.
You understand me? It's nothing better than love out here, man. And I got nothing but love for y'all, man.
Hit the book of Corinthians and find out.
Boy.
That's it.
Come on, man.
That Luther Vandross.
Hey,
There's nothing better than love. What in the world could you have?
want?
Love be thinking of. It's better by far. All right. Well, good hearing from you, Robbie. Thanks for chiming in, and we'll catch you sooner than later.
All right, brothers. Love y'all. Peace.
Love you back.